Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special Monday edition of Kick It. On this episode we look at Shantae's brand new DLC, and should Kickstarters have publishers? First off, following our look at the new N64 controller, the project has raised well over $100,000, but have recently announced plans to change the control stick to the Octagon, following major recommendation from backers. While I personally would prefer the round edge, I can get people's reasoning as these games were made with that stick design in mind. Following our previous episode a few weeks ago, Re-Legend has finished its Kickstarter campaign with over $600,000 and clearing all stretch goals. Expect Re-Legend on PC and all consoles sometime next year. And finally, a new preview build of Indivisible will be sent to backers of $30 or more early next month through Backer Kits. And when it arrives, you can be damn sure you'll be seeing it here on Kick It. After Shantae Half Genie Hero's release late last year, it was made clear that Way Forward would then be working on DLC for the game, namely a new campaign where you play as Shantae's arch nemesis, Risky Boots. Her campaign plays parallel to Shantae's, but instead of Skulltown, Risky's base is on her ship in her buffed. Okay, Way Forward, you're just messing with me now, aren't ya? Risky's campaign is all about finding components, which essentially has her playing the same exact levels as Shantae. But because Risky isn't a transforming half genie, she has to rely on her scimitar and pistol to attack, which has 3 types of ammo: the unlimited pea shooter, homing missiles, and the spreader, as well as use of her hack to float. Levels have also been altered slightly to allow for easier platforming, and you require dark magic to upgrade your stats. So basically you're playing Pirate's Curse all over again. Although it does feel at times they just took Shantae's levels and just replaced her with Risky, as the first level has her attacking her own men who have fallen out of line, as well as the ending animation for the mermaid level. Although it goes without saying that playing as Risky is much different than playing as Shantae. With the lack of pipe balls and such, it can get pretty difficult. But it is a welcome addition to Half Genie Hero. It's free to all backers, and the code should be in your backer kit. As for everyone else, it will be available on the 29th of August. Last week it was announced that Shenmue 3 had secured a publisher. This was met with immediate groan when it was revealed to be Deep Silver. For anyone unfamiliar, Deep Silver were the publishers of Ride to Hell Retribution, and they made this.
Make the bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Now, for what it's worth, Deep Silver have done things like the Dead Island and Saints Row series, but this does beg the question: what exactly is going on with Shenmue 3's development? A project that made over $8 million and has the backing of both Sega, Sony, and other private investors isn't enough that Deep Silver has to come in now. What made it worse was a brand new trailer showing off concerning facial expressions. I wouldn't exactly say Andromeda levels of bad, but still. This leads me to the question: should Kickstarter projects even get publishers? For what it's worth, Yu Suzuki did explain later that segments of the game are all at varying levels of progress and facial expressions aren't finished yet. But in the same week, it was announced that We Happy Few had signed a publishing deal with Gearbox Software. After the confusion that a company who made Colonial Marines and Battleborn can even afford to be a publisher wears off, you should immediately feel rage, as the game, which was originally being planned for a $30 budget release, will now be released at $60 with a full season pass and collector's edition. One of the main reasons of Kickstarter was to create games that publishers weren't interested in, that they turned their nose up, but suddenly after they make millions in crowdfunding, suddenly they seem more interested. But to be fair, publishers can offer to help in many ways, like Team 17 helping the porting process for Yooka-Laylee, 505 Games helping out with the funding for Indivisible, Or Saber Rider and Star Sheriff just got a publisher in JOSProd who will help porting it to Switch, PS4, Dreamcast, and TurboGrafx. I guess when it comes to publishers, they need to realize that these games went to Kickstarter because publishers like you weren't interested. So I certainly don't agree with Gearbox AAA-ing We Happy Few. And as for Deep Silver, I'm watching you. I'm watching you guys. Shenmue 3 is a game people have been waiting over 15 years for. And just because the game is a sequel to a Dreamcast game, doesn't mean it has to look like one. Well folks, I'm Enigma, and I'll see you all next time.